I'm creating the link.
Okay, okay.
Disable the waiting room.
कर बरं.
They will automatically get admitted. ते आता ऑटोमॅटिकली ऍडमिट होत जाते. प्लस सारखं ऍडमिट करायची गरज नाही पडणार. तिथं ऑटोमॅटिकली ऍडमिट होत राहतात. ऍडमिट कर होत राहते. तेव्हा 77 75चे 77 झाले. तेव्हा जॉईन ऑटोमॅटिकली ऍडमिट होत. हा ते इझी पडलं आणि
आय थिंक लिंक क्रिएट केली मॅडम.
हा मी केली आहे लिंक क्रिएट. मी तुम्हाला पण व्हॉट्सअपवर शेअर करते सो दॅट यू कॅन शेअर टू ऑल FY इंचार्जेस.
येस येस येस.
Share it on the group additional.
येस येस मी पाठवते, लगेच पाठवले.
ऍडिशनल क्रेडिट्स आपल्या ग्रुपवर शेअर करते.
हो हो. पार्टिसिपेंट्स ऍड होत आहेत.
I have shared it on the WhatsApp group, so from there we can share it to the teachers.
मी HOD वर हेड पण हेडच्या ग्रुपवर पण टाकला का? इथे मी
नाही,
इंचार्जला टाकते.
फक्त इंचार्जेस ने टाकला.
ABC डिव्हिजनला आहे त्यामुळे मी एकच डिव्हिजनला मी फॉरवर्ड करायला सांगते. बाकी सगळे मी आहे त्यामुळे मी टाकून देते तिथे.
Forwarded to Nagarkar ma'am and my class.
ओ गॉड, ते पण आहे का तिकडे?
प्राजक्ता भुसकुटेंना मिळेल इथून. Harekar madam, shall we start the lecture? Or shall we wait for 2 minutes? Because it's 4 o'clock.
It's 4 now. We'll start within 2 minutes.
Okay, fine.
मुलं जॉईन होत आहेत अजून 176.
ओके, मग 2 मिनिटं थांबूयात मॅडम.
एक 2-3 4ची टायमिंग दिली ना तर मुलं कंटिन्यू जॉईन व्हायला लागली आता.
ओके ओके.
1-2 मिनिटं जाऊ दे, मग लगेच सुरू करूया आपण.
हो हो, कारण आता 180 आय थिंक द लिमिट इज 200 ना.
200 का 300 मॅडम?
Okay, 300 is there. Then it is good.
Then it is good. हो नाही पण तरी ते जास्त FY चे तेवढ्यापेक्षा जास्त मुलं आहेत.
Yeah.
हम्म.
Once it goes beyond that, then it becomes a difficult. Hmm.
मॅम 230 आले आहेत. नंबर 30 रीच झाला. आपण चालू करूया का?
Yes.
Okay. Good afternoon, students and madam, Karekar madam and Damle madam.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Yes. Good afternoon.
Yes.
Myself, Dr. Vidya Kalyankar. I'm here to welcome you all for this additional credit course for FYBSc. This is all of you must be knowing that it is a compulsory course for you all. This you have to earn those credits. That's why we are arranging this, and based upon these lectures you have to give one examination. Okay, so marks we have to send to university. So be care. I request all the students that be careful about those things and be attentive. Nobody will provide you any notes or any other material. So for this purpose, you are, as we are being arranging all those lectures, be careful. So today for this sessions, we welcome Shobha Karekar madam, Dr. Shobha Karekar madam. She is working in a college, Garware College, at politics department, and she is having more than 15 years of experience, academic experience. And she is most enthusiastic. She is handling so many committees. She is extracurricular activities are very much everybody knows because she is taking she's guiding for MPSC UPSC students on the other side also. Okay, so I think you all will be, she is the best speaker for this today's additional credit course. With this small introduction, I will welcome her. And on the outset of this, I also want to introduce you our additional credit in charge, Dr. Madhura Damle madam. She is the head of biotechnology department, and she is taking lots of efforts to come to full success to make it successful. And so much because for this additional course you are not the only FYBSc, we are taking at MSc part 1 part 2, not only one module, she is handling 3-4 modules at a time. So I feel that's why I want to introduce to how much efforts teachers are also taking. I really appreciate, madam. Your efforts are so much, and you are taking lots of efforts. Thank you for this, and I'm sure all the students will take it seriously, because teachers, at least for teacher, how much teachers are taking efforts, they should understand and give the credit to them by attending here on these lectures. So if you have any difficulty, anything, you please write to us in chat box, or ask madam immediately if you have any doubts, because the already we have circulated the schedule is with you. We have a continuous 7, 8, 9. You have that lectures at 4 to 6. So please kindly be there. No one is going to take any repeat class in nothing. And that exam day you have a examination on I think 15th, right madam?
No,
NC
hello
exam.
students. Hello students. Thank you, Vidya madam. Thank
Yes,
you
thank
so
you.
much for your introduction. Just
Thank
I
you,
would
madam.
like to add one point. This particular additional credit course, you will have two examinations for this course. It is of 2 credits, and so you have 25 marks internal examination, which will be scheduled on 12th. And next exam, that is your external examination, is scheduled on 18th. So this already schedule has been given to you. So please refer to your schedules for the particular days of the examination. Thank you, ma'am.
And yes, and you have to the schedule will not be the change, so be there with the follow the schedule. Always we are giving all reminders and all at that outset. You do it on your side also, okay? Your thank you madam for guiding them about the what the pattern of the examination. So with this brief information about the course, I welcome Dr. Karekar madam to deliver her lecture. Uh,
Ma'am,
thank
thanks a lot for the
okay.
nice introduction. And
Thank
thank you, Namle ma'am, also, that she gave me the opportunity to be here on this additional credit course. And I'm really thankful to Principal Sir also and Vice Principal Agasha ma'am also, who gave me this opportunity. Hello, students. I think all of you know that, and ma'am also told you right now that you have this additional credit course, which is really very important. All of you think that we have already so many subjects, so many practicals are there, and why this additional one subject, isn't it? But as a citizen of India, we should know some basic things which is required for everyone, every citizen of India. So the basic three concepts only that we are going to introduce in this additional credit course. One is democracy, which is our form of government of India, and particularly representative democracy, and what is why this democracy is very important, what is the role of the citizens, and what types of democracies are there in the world that you like to know about it. So we'll take the information about everything detail in democracy. Second one is elections. I think all of you know that, and all of you will have the right to vote. Some students, they have the right to vote right now. Those who completed 18 years, they have the right to vote. So here, you should know about the elections also, how the elections are held on national level, and then state level, then local level, which provisions are there, how the elections are conducted. These all things that we are going to learn in the topic of elections. Then the last topic is good governance. Good governance means nowadays everybody want the best service from the government. Because the role of the government previously, if you can see that in 14th century, 15th century, 16th century, 17th century, almost up to that, the role of the government was like a police state. Okay, police state means what? What is the duty of the police? To protect us, to secure us, to take the security of life, to take the security of our property. That is the duty of the police. And one more thing is additional, that police is there for to maintain the discipline, and that's why it's called police state. That in this all century up to 18th century, it's called police state. And there are two expectations are only there from the citizens to the state, that they have to uh, save the life of the people. So right to life should be there. Second one is a right to property should be there, right to family should be there, and the government should give the guarantee to all these rights. And there was an introduction about the state, which was there before 18th century. And they have to maintain the discipline, that everybody should get the justice. That is very important thing is there. And so here we will say the role of the democracy, that was a little bit changed after 18th century. So up to 18th century, the role of the government was only to look after the people, to take care of the people. And after 18th century, 19, 20, now 21st century is there. So within these 3 centuries, the role of the government is slowly changed, slowly but steadily. And day by day, they are more focusing on the welfare concept. In the beginning, they said that maximum welfare of maximum people means maximum people they can cover for the welfare schemes, and they design the policies accordingly. So maximum welfare, this concept was used. And after that, welfare of all. So it's called welfare state concept. So almost in 20th century, this concept was introduced, that welfare state. So here, it's a slowly but steadily the change was there. And it's really very important that the role of the government is changing. Previously, they just take care of the life of the people and property of the people. Now, taking care of everything. Means you can see that every step we require the help of the government. Like from the birth certificate to death certificate, we required everywhere the support, and it is very essential. Nowadays also you see that for admissions we required the government, centralized admission required the government, to conduct the exam we required the government. Then for the results also we are depending. So here everything, every activity of the people right now, they are depending on the government. So in today's context, in 21st century, what they say, that now the government is not like the who is going to provide the punishment and all, and just like furious or government. That type of government is not there in today's context. The role of the government is changed, and now minimum government and maximum governance, this concept is introduced overall in the world. Why like this? Because every time we require the support of the government, and whatever the best practices are there in the government, it should be served for the welfare of the people, and that is a demand of every citizen. So here the concept of welfare state, that is introduced in 20th century, and in 21st century we continued it with many things. Nowadays our participation level is also very high, very high. If you can see that when we declare the elections, the holiday is there. Still, what is the expectation from the government? That maximum people, everyone, 100% voting should be there. And that's why they declare the holidays. But the people's participation is very less in India. And you can see the results is somewhere in some places just 45% voting is there, some places 75%, maximum 85%, not more than that. So the government which is elected by us, So that is only on basis of 50% voting, because they got for the majority. So 50% they got the majority and they prepare the government. So here, to make a government, actually the expectation is there, 2/3 majority should support them. But 2/3 people also, they didn't vote, and that's why the problem is there. So nowadays, the role of the people is also very important in the concept of governance. Government provide us many services, that they gave us one window system that you don't have to run everywhere for small things. Then nowadays you can see the online admissions are going on. Previously also you can see that many facilities provided by the government. If you, I would like to give you one example, that the students after 12th, if they would like to go for medical field, before 4 years, before 5 years almost, they have to give 10 to 11 exams, entrance exam. Okay, 10 to 11. And the student is frustrated that every weekend they have the exams, and mentally they are totally disturbed. So government did one thing, that in name of NEET, they introduced only one exam, which is for all private colleges, deemed universities, then AIMS also, then all the government colleges. So because of this one exam, it's very easy for the student, that only one exam and that's it. And previously they have to give minimum 10 to 12 exams, so they suffer a lot. So here the role of the government is very important in today's context. So now the government is trying to provide the best in every country. In every country, the role of the government is changed. What was there in the 17th, 18th, 19th century, that is not the same one in 20th century. It's already changed everywhere. Now some countries, they are in a less developed regions, and some countries they are in a developed regions. So the world is divided into two groups. Okay, so some countries, they are now progressing themselves, like India is also. India is in a developing country, so we are in a less developed regions. And developed regions, some countries, some European countries are there, like USA is also there, then UK is also there. Those who are there, these all developed countries are there. France is there, then Japan is there, Germany is there, Canada is there, Switzerland is there. Switzerland is the richest country in the world. Okay, so the role of the government of Switzerland is totally different from the role of the other country's government. If you go over there in the Switzerland, and you can see that the government in our country, we have some services which is provided by the government for employment guarantee scheme. Okay, those who are having the minimum education level, government is going to provide them the, some job opportunities. But in their country, though you are a migrant person, though you are someone, just a minute. Just a minute. So you are a migrant person or anyone that who came from outside, they are going to provide them all the opportunities, whatever the facilities are there in the country. Try can see now the role of the government is also changing. And here we will say that because of the democratic pattern, most of the countries, they are very easy to say something like that. They're able to implement the very good policies for the welfare of the people. So in your syllabus, the first concept is democracy, and that we are going to see in detail. Okay. So I think you heard about the concept of democracy. This is the government by the people, for the people, and of the people. Okay. So this is Abraham Lincoln who says that in the country where the government, the rule is only by the people, and that's called the democracy. Previously, in ancient ages, in medieval ages, in Renaissance period, you can see, and in modern ages also, you can see the form of direct democracy that was existed, where the population is very small, so all the people, they can come together, they can take the decisions. And I think you heard the concept of in the villages particularly, that 5 people, they come together and they took the decisions in gram panchayat or a village panchayat, we will call it, or on a district level also, some representatives are there, and they're going to take care of the welfare of the people. So in direct democracy, people can participate directly. So it is called direct democracy. But it is not possible for a very big country. Geographical location is very big, and the population is also on a large scale. At that time, direct democracy is not possible. So the another form of government is indirect democracy or representative democracy. That is very important, because nowadays we have this form of government where we will say that we elect our representative, and with the help of representative only, we are able to participate in the creation of the policies, implementation of the policies, and that is very important thing. Okay. So here that there are some features of direct democracy. That is a small group of people, they can join that, and they can take their own decisions. Whatever the facilities they want in their place, they can do that. And a very small group, so everyone's interest is included. So these are the some features of direct democracy, where the people can participate directly. They have the right to vote, right to stand for the election, right to hold the power, right to continue the power. So these 4 rights are there with in direct democracy. Now in indirect democracy, you can see that this is a very limited form of government, because we have to choose our representative, and that representatives, they are going to create the policies for us, they are going to implement the policies for us, and whatever the demand of the people, they are just going to listen and try to create the policies for that. But they are not able to give us the assurance that they are able to create the particular policies, because here the indirect democracy is there. If you can see that there are 2 houses in central government, one is lower house, we called it Lok Sabha, and one is upper house, that we called it Rajya Sabha. So in lower house, our directly elected representatives are there, but in upper house, our representatives going to select the representative which will be there on the upper house. 12 persons, they will be appointed by the president. So in this way, that representative democracy is existed in India. Okay. So here India adopted bicameral system. Bicameral system means what? 2 houses. We have 2 houses, lower house and upper house, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. And with the help of that, we are going to create the policies. Okay. Now, there are some principles of democracy. There are other forms of democracies are also there, that direct democracy, indirect democracy, and called representative democracy, that already we saw. Somewhere, one party democracy. One party democracy means what? only one party continuously in a rule, and that is called one party democracy. In India also you can see that after the first election till 2000 almost 14, in the middle only one election where the opposition rule was there, but since the first election to 2014 almost one party rule, that is Congress rule, was there. Somewhere after 1980 you can see that they have to take the alliance, but up to 1980 they alone always elected in Lok Sabha and they have the majority. After 1980, they have to take the coalitions with other political parties, and then they are able to create the government. So here, one party rule, that is also one party democracy. That is also a form of democracy. Okay. So we have to see that. Then one more, another form is there of democracy, just like parliamentary democracy, presidential system, which is available in USA. I think all of you know that. Just we saw the elections of USA, and the Donald Trump that he tried to capture the votes of the people, but he is not successful. So in this way, for the presidential elections or the presidential rule also, we will say that is also the form of democracy. So when we would like to study the concept of democracy, what we have to remember, that direct democracy, indirect democracy, in indirect democracy, representative democracy. Okay. Then afterwards, in democracy, again two forms are there. One is parliamentary form of, and one is presidential form of government. In India, we have the parliamentary form of government. That's why our parliament consists of president. President is the in charge of both the houses, and he's the first person, he's the first citizen of India. So president, lower house and upper house, this is the composition of our parliament. So when we say that the creation of the parliament, so these are the members of the parliament, and they are going to design the policies for the people. So in democracy, it is possible that with the help of representative, we are able to create the government. Okay. So when we say that there are some principles of democracy, okay, that you have to remember very well for the purpose of examination. Okay, that principles of democracy. So the very first principle of democracy is that government by consent, means how the government is going to create, not like military rule, that one military person who is in charge of the military, he will and say that I'm going to give you the orders and you have to follow it. It's not like that. Okay. And it's not like a communist rule also, that one political party that will be over the country, and whatever the policy designed by the country, by the political party, it will be implemented throughout the country. So it is also not like that, isn't it? But here, everybody, every citizen of India have the chance to participate in the election. So that's why it's called the government of consent, that everybody, they have the right to vote, right to stand for the election, right to hold the power, right to continue the power. These four rights are in democracy. Then people are so responsible for the changes in the government. That's called public accountability. Here, see that if the people are going to say that, yes, I just vote and don't know what happened and all that, they are not able to say like this, isn't it? They have to take the responsibility if the government and if the members, if they are doing something wrong, if they are going to misuse their power. So this is the duty of the people, that they are going to control them. Okay, and in Canada, you can see that in some of the states in Canada, they have if the elected member, if he's not going to keep the promise, if he's not going to go through the agendas, if he's away from the agenda of election, and if he did some bad practices, if he's a corrupted person, so they can remove them immediately, and they can appoint second immediately on that place. They don't have to take the election because they have the preference system. Suppose the number one is not able to work properly, so they can remove them. They can appoint the second one. If second one, suppose if he is not very much capable, they can remove them. They can appoint third one. So here, where we say that public accountability, that is very important part, because people are most responsible for the creation of just now I told you that very few people they participated in the election, and actually they are the responsible persons who go for voting, isn't it? So here public accountability is a very important factor in the features of democracy. Then majority rule, that is the third principle, that if one political party, if they got the total number of by 2/3, and so they can declare as a majority political party, and they can convert themselves in a ruling political party. So majority rule is there, and that's why it's very important. Then in every country where the democracy is existed, they have the constitution. Okay, every country. And if you can see that India is also having the constitution, and we always follow all the rules of our country. We try to follow 100%, isn't it? And because that rules are created by the government, by the constitution. So this is our duty to implement all the rules which is prepared by the government. So it's called rule of law also, that people should follow it, whatever the rules prepared by the government for the welfare of people. So when we would like to see the features, so we can say that these four features are there of democracy, and it's a very important political system. If you know the father of political science, Aristotle, he says that which is the best form of the government. He says polity is the best form of government, where people come together, they think about the development process, what we want in our village, whether we want a big water tank, or whether we want a good school for the students, whether we want the entrepreneurs from our village. So they are going to decide right now. So they have some rights in today's context. So here we will say that democracy, this is a, but steadily it's there. Okay. Up to here, you understood some questions. What is democracy? What form of governments are available? What is bicameral system? How it is implemented in India? You would like to ask some question about it, or can I go ahead?
Hello.
Do you have any doubts?
Hello. Good afternoon,
Ah,
ma'am.
yes. Yes, good afternoon.
Ma'am, can you tell us some disadvantages of democracy?
Yes, yes, definitely. When we try to implement the democracy, actually, when we say that is a rule of a majority, but actually it's a minority, because see the voting behavior, that's 65%, 75%, and among them ruling party. So 50 to 60% voting is there for the ruling party. It's almost 40 to 60% there for the ruling party. And they create the government. And this is a drawback, because when you say democracy, so everyone's participation should be there. At least the people who are elected at local level and they would like to go forward. So like that also these people should involve. And this majority rule means nobody's rules. That's like that. So from a very less percentage, the ruling party created their own government and all. If you remember, at the time of Atal Bihari Vajpayee, when he tried the elections third time, then he has to take the support of, in the beginning, 18 political parties, and afterward 24 political parties. So here we will say that this is not majority. This is a rule of groups, and they come together and they create the government. Okay, this is the first drawback. Second one is there that people's participation on all levels, that is not there. People, they gave vote, but they are not involved in policy formation. If you can see that government always publish that now we are going to change the education pattern, new education policy that we would like to introduce. Okay. So if anyone have any doubt or some additional knowledge about the subject, so they can inform government. Okay. But when government declared this policy, literally they got very less support. Very less support. Very few people, they raise their hands, they send them the questions, and among, means we have the population 125 plus crore people, almost 130 crore people. Still, only 1% people send the reply that what type of government we require and all, isn't it? So here the participation of the people, that is the main challenge in democracy, and good leaders, basically. Because in the country, the leadership is very weak and they are not so much interactive with the people, because they felt it that their group is different and the citizens group is different, like that. So this tendency is increasing day by day, you can see that, isn't it? So that is also the drawback of democracy. When we will say that consent of, so that is not the 100%, not 80% and above. But if the 50% consent is there, still they can run the government. So here we will say that these are the main drawbacks of democracy. And some good challenges are also there in democracy. I would like to give you one example that in USA, in one constituency, there we will say that the from the film line, one person who stand for the, and he was a hero, main hero, like our
Aaron
Amitabh
Waldman.
Bachchan, Shahrukh Khan, like that,
Aaron
isn't it?
Waldman.
Succession, okay. So that when he was elected as a mayor, and he went to his city from where he elected, and he find out that there is no problem in his city. Everyone is happy. Everything is going on very well. All the facilities are there. People are also happy. They are enjoying their life. Then he felt it that I have to do something for the welfare of the people. So what I can, that he think a lot. Then he take the consultation, because in USA, for every elected president, means he was mayor, means like a president of that municipal corporation, that town. So he called the meeting and he called all the people that I want to introduce something new. So they said that everything is there in our town. We don't have to do anything. Everything goes smooth. They have the district plan, they have special district plan. So in schools also the education is nice, the roads are also very good, water supply is excellent, electricity continuous, no problem. So he said that some problem will be there. Try to find out. So the health department doctor that he suggested that yes, sir, the problem is there that the health of the people is not good. They are not healthy people. Okay. So he says that why? So he says that take the test that their hemoglobin level is very low, calcium level is very low, and they have always a stomach ache, and they are not able to digest anything. So it is very weak. Everything is fine, but the health is very weak. So he said that okay, what we should do? They said that you can think and tell us what we have to do. Say he said that try to find out the reason why the health is not very good. Then the health department says that the habit of the people is a little bit we have to change because they eat the pizzas and burgers and cold drinks, and that's why they're not able to means they don't have the very good proteins, vitamins, and all, and that's why their health is collapsed. So he said that okay, no problem. Then after 1 month, he discussed with a lot of with 1 month, and after 1 month, he declared one policy that he gave the notice to all the restaurants that they are not going to sell the pizza and the burgers, whatever the bakery items are there, which is only healthy food will be sellable in all the restaurants. And all the Pizza Hut and Domino's and all, they have to start their shops um, after 200 kilometers periphery, not within 200 kilometers. And you can think that one pizza or burger, we are not going to travel for 200 kilometers, isn't it? So he banned all that. And within a year, after 1 year, he got very good results. That now the system of the people's life is very good. Now they are doing exercise and they are able to means digest many things, and the health is a little bit good, better than the previous year. So he was very happy. Then his agenda and report, he showed the graph that how the people were suffering from which disease last year, and now how they cover and how they are enjoying their life right now. So in the democracy only it can possible, because you can, democracy is an experimental government, you can do any experiment, but you should have a good quality leaders, then only it is possible. So if you don't have quality leaders, then the system is spoiled, we are not able to get the proper services. So here we will say the leadership, that is a very important point that is expected in the democracy. Okay, so here this is the just introduction of the democracy, and now we are going to continue it to the next one, dimensions of democracy. Okay, this is the last part of your first topic that I am going to cover. And then after that, if you have any questions, we will take the questions, okay? And we will discuss the questions also, of course, that MCQs that we are going to discuss at the last, because you are now preparing for the examinations also for this additional credit course. So some examples that we will take at the end, okay? So in the second half of the democracy, dimensions of democracy, that is very, very important factor. That in the dimensions we have to study social, economic, and political. These three dimensions are there that we are going to study. Okay. So when we would like to say that in social democracy, that we want justice. That is very important in democracy. And that's why you can see, so in a society, we are all equal. There is no discrimination on any ground. In front of law, we are all equal. Okay, we have the right to equality as a first fundamental right. If you can see the constitutions of other countries, so what you are able to find out that the very first fundamental right is right to liberty in other constitutions. But in Indian constitution, what you are able to see that we have the right to equality. That is our first fundamental right. Because a lot of discrimination was there before independence. Discrimination on the ground of caste, class, religion, then race, these all factors were involved. Then color, these all factors were involved. And there are so many restrictions are there in the religion also, in the language also, in the region also. So we will say that this discrimination on many grounds were there. And now, because of right to equality, we are all equal on one platform. Okay, and that's why in India, in Indian constitution, you can see that right to equality is the first fundamental right. When you are equal, you are able to enjoy the liberty, and that's why right to liberty is the second fundamental right. So Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar was a chairman of drafting committee. He suggested that we will take a right to equality as a first fundamental right, and then rest of the rights will be there for every citizen. And this is very good opportunity for everyone that they can develop in the society with the help of all the things. If you would like to do the business, you can. If you would like to do the whatever the employment you would like to take, you can. If you would like to enjoy your life, you can. If you would like to go anywhere, you can. So this type of liberty is given in our constitution, and that's why we are really very much thankful to the drafting committee also, and constituent assembly also, that you created such a nice constitution for us. And because of that only our democracy is existed till date. Because when India got independence, most of the people, and when we decided that we are going to implement the democratic pattern in India, so most of the leaders in the world, they said that it's not possible to implement democracy in India, because in India, a large population, large territory, so many discriminations are there. So it's not possible. So the leaders of Indian leaders, they say that yes, it is possible, and we will do that. And we will prove in the world that we are the best democratic people. And really, you can see that since last 75 years almost, we are using the form of democracy, and we have very good leaders, and we have very good government also. Every means last 75 years, the people are never tortured, okay, by the constitution. We try to follow all the laws, and because of that only we will say that we have a very strong democracy. Okay, so here in the social democracy means all we are equal. The second thing is there, that in social democracy we have freedom we have the right to equality, and fraternity is there in our country. So freedom, equality, and fraternity. These three important things are there in our country, and we are really implementing it in a very good way. And that's why we will say that our democracy is a very good democracy. Some people say that because we took many things from other constitutions. So while preparing the constitution, we have to take the support of other constitutions also, and it is essential, isn't it? Suppose if you would like to write a book, new book, okay, but you have to refer the old ones. That suppose if you would like to write a book on democracy, so you have to see that which writers already write on democracy, what type of platform they use, each way, what is their writings. Then you are going to check, and what is useful for you, that you are going to take it from them. The same thing which was done by the Constituent Assembly and the drafting committee, that they studied it, most of the constitutions, and whatever the best part from their constitution, that we have adopted in our constitution. So from French Revolution, that we have adopted freedom, equality, and fraternity, and justice for all. The steps that we have introduced in our constitution, isn't it? And things that judicial review and the importance of judiciary, then Supreme Court, these all things we take it from USA, isn't it? Parliamentary democracy, we take it from UK. So many things are there that we have adopted from other democracies and other countries also. So some political leaders in the world, they criticize that this is a patchwork. Your democracy is a patchwork. But the explanation of our leaders is say that it's an excellent patchwork, which is very useful for our people, where our democracy is going to live for 1,000 years. We don't have to do anything. With the of constitution, our democracy is going to exist. So here, this is, it is most of the part we have constitutions, but it is, we will say that yes, it is required and we want it for ourselves. Okay. And in the constitution, the very important part is there, which is really related to the social democracy. That is, constitution provide us 6 fundamental rights. That is very, very important part in our constitution, that every citizen of India, they should know the fundamental right. The first right is right to equality. All we are equal on one platform. Now, the British people who honored some degrees to people also. That sir is also a degree, then Rao Bahadur, Raje Bahadur, like this, the degrees were given by the British people. So after independence, these all degrees we have demolished, and we are now on one platform, that we are the citizens of India. That is our identity in today's context. Okay, so we are all equal before the law, also on one platform also. Okay, then right to freedom, we have the freedom of speech, we have freedom of expression, we have freedom of religion, we have, isn't it? So we are able to implement all these freedoms for ourselves. We have the freedom to travel anywhere, isn't it? So we have so many freedoms are there. Freedom of writing, freedom of expression, freedom of media, these all freedoms are there with us. Then right against exploitation, that nobody is able to exploit you in the country. So this right is also provided in the constitution itself, and that is the most important right in our constitution. Then right to religion. Right to religion means right to freedom of religion. If you can see the constitution of Saudi Arabia, Iran, or Iraq, or Pakistan, or Afghanistan. If you just go through the constitution of them, so the very first line in the constitution, it is written, we the Islamic people. What they write? We the Islamic people. And what we say? We the people of India, means we are having a secular policy. The state is not going to follow any religion, and every person, every citizen have the right to express their views about their religion. They can implement whatever the traditions are there, whatever the culture is there, whatever the practices are there, they can use it in the name of the religion. They can do that. Nobody is going to disturb them. Nobody is going to attack on them, isn't it? So everybody have the right to religion. Everybody can practice their religion in whatever the types. They should not disturb the other religions also. That means you should not disturb, but you can enjoy your religion. You can practice your religion as you wish. Okay, so that is the right to religion. Then we have the right to education, right to culture. So cultural right, educational right is there also with us. We can take education, whatever the type of education we require, isn't it? If you want to become a scientist, you can. If you want to become a writer, you can. If you would like to choose any stream, you can, isn't it? So in the right to education, these all facilities are there. Okay. Then right to culture means you can maintain your, as a Maharashtrian, what you are going to say that, yes, I'm a Maharashtrian. Maharashtrian means what type of dress you are going to wear, that is decided, isn't it? What type of, we will say that the functions, celebrations, festivals, that what you want. So you can design and you can practice it. Nobody is going to disturb you. Government is not going to interfere. They will give you, if possible, they will give you the holidays, isn't it? And in this way, you can use your culture also. You can implement your cultural right also. The last right is right to constitutional remedies. That is very important right, because suppose if somebody is going to attack on your rights, remedies should be there, and that is written in this last right, that in this this say that the very important part of the constitution, very important part of the fundamental rights, where the remedies are suggested for every citizen, and then after that, we have to go to economic democracy, which is also a very important part. In economic democracy, actually, when we say economic democracy means India is not a capitalist state, not total socialist. We have the mixed economy. Okay, means we are social also, but we want our economic progress also. Okay, so we use the form of mixed economy. So in economic democracy, you can see that our approach towards the workers, customers, suppliers, neighbors. So it's a broader perspective. We design the policies for all, okay, for the welfare of all. Nobody away from it. Everybody should get the justice. Everybody should upgrade their life. And the living standard should be maintained within the state. And that is very important. If you can see that in the very beginning, only we have 3 basic needs, okay, in the beginning. One is food, which is essential for everyone. Second one is clothing, which is essential for everyone. Third is shelter for everyone. Okay, so food, clothing, and shelter. These are the 3 basic needs of every citizen. But as we develop slowly, increase our needs also. We require good quality of education. We require the good quality of health services. Okay. So two more additions are there. In basic needs, we have added these two. Okay. After 1990 almost, when the globalization policy is introduced, we'll say that the world is like a small village and we are able to communicate many people in the world, and many treaties were assigned within the countries, within the neighboring countries and other countries also. So the policy of globalization was changed, then liberalization was there, and most of the people, they accept the liberalization policy. So at that time, the living standard of the people is increased. And at that time, many decisions they took for the implementation of economic democracy in India. Now also you can see that Minimum Wages Act that is introduced in India for rural areas, that is different, for urban area that is different. So whatever the minimum standard of living is there, that we are trying to maintain it with the help of economic democracy. So right now, means after 1990, you can see again the change is there in basic needs. Previously, what type of needs we had? Food, shelter, clothing. Then we have added two more. One is education and second one is health. Okay, so 5 basic needs. Now we have increased more. We want good and clean environment. That is our demand, isn't it? Clean environment. Second one means the seventh one, that is one more demand is there, and that is security. We want security, internal security, external security, that we want. We want to keep our nation sovereign, isn't it? And that's why external security is important. And we want every individual happy. That's why we want internal security. Security, that is also another basic need. Now the eighth one, we will say that the need is there, which is introduced in 21st century. That is happiness. Everybody want happy life. And that is the duty of the government to provide them the happy life. Okay, so the government should provide maximum service to the people. Okay, and that is very essential in today's context. So here, if you know a very small nation, and that is our neighbor, that is Bhutan. Okay, a very small nation. On the world map, it's just a dot. Okay, so that small nation, in 2009, they accepted the form of government democracy, republic democracy. Okay, and with the parliamentary form, they are going ahead. In 2010, they declare one very good policy which is shocking to the world, a very small nation. And they say that we are going to introduce the concept of happiness index. Means every person in our country, they should enjoy their life. They should be happy in their life. And the government is going to provide them the best services. If you go to Bhutan, you can see that the education is free over there. Health facilities are free for every citizen, and right to employment is there. Every person got the opportunity to become employed. Okay, and within a country, within their own country, only 3 multi-speciality hospitals are there. I mean, see the health index of the people. They never felt it that we are suffering from lot of diseases and all. They are very happy. And that's why they are able to create happiness index. This is the only one country in the world that they give the preference to the happiness of the citizens. And that's our basic needs, which is calculated in 21st century. Okay, so now from 3 basic needs, we are shifted to 8 basic needs, isn't it? Now we want happy life, we want comfortable life, we want security, we want green and clean environment, isn't it? So government also designed very good policies. I think you know Clean India policy and all, isn't it? And because of that only you can see the results. So here we will see as our needs are increased, the role of the government is also increased. So government have to take care of all, and in democracy only it is possible. In military rule and we will say that dictatorship, in monarchy, it's not possible, isn't it? Only in democracy it's possible. Okay, and in political democracy, we will say that the participation of the people is very important from local level to national level. The people should participate. So at the local level, we have created local government. Okay, local government means what? Panchayat Raj system, which is introduced by Balwant Rao Mehta. So he suggested at a lowest tier, we have the village panchayat. Middle level, we have we will say that the tehsils, or we called it taluka panchayat in Maharashtra. At district level, we have the district boards, and in Maharashtra we called it Jilla Parishad. So these forms, they introduced as a decentralized policy of democracy. They introduced these 3 forms of government at a rural level. And in urban level, we have the municipal corporations, municipal councils, cantonment boards, nagar panchayats, and we have all these form of government in urban areas also. At state level, we have a state government. Central government allotted them 66 subjects where they are able to take the decision. At central level, we have central government, so they are going to take care of the people and they are going to create the good policies for the welfare of the people. Okay, so here the process of decentralization is there in our country, and that's why we will say that spiritual democracy is also here in our country. Okay, so in democracy, there are some challenges are also there, isn't it? It's not, we will say that there is no challenge, but challenges are there. All the people, they are not literate in all the countries. Illiteracy is there, and people's lower participation is there. For the election also, the voting practice, I told you that it's from the level of 45 to 85 only. Then political violence, corruption is there, communalism is there, regionalism is there in our country, isn't it? So here we will say that there are so many challenges are there in front of democracy also. And some sectors which is really need improvement, like women's participation in politics, that is very important. And at central level, they don't have the reservations. So you can see in Lok Sabha, only 11% females are there. And state levels are there, 9% males. Only 11% females are there as a representative. Though our population is 50% males, but still the representatives are only 11%. So there we have to improve a lot. Then for marginalized sector also, we have to work a lot, where the workers are there, then migrated peoples are there, Jews are there, so we have to work for them. That is also a challenge to our democracy. So we have to take a lot of efforts on that, and then only it is possible that our healthy democracy that we can in the world. Okay, so this is all about the first chapter that we already saw since last 75 minutes. We just saw that how the democracy is there, what form is there, what system is there, which challenges are there. That's just we go through that. Now, if you have any question, ask me. Otherwise, I will take some multiple choice questions for you for the preparation of examination. I will review. To ask some questions, you can. First, you understand these topics a little bit, at least the introductions and all.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Do you have any question?
I have one question,
Ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, please ask.
When a country adopts democracy, like you gave the example for Bhutan, so while drafting their constitution, do they have to follow any international guidelines to draft it? Like they have to include certain guidelines, certain rights, certain duties, which should be there in their democracy. Are there any such guidelines, or they are free to draft it as per their country's needs?
Actually, there is no guidelines such. So every country is independent. They can draft at their own, but they can follow some rules by United Nations. If they want to be a member of United Nations, they have to follow the guidelines of United Nations, where they are able to connect, communicate with other nations, and they can get the platform to introduce themselves, can take the help of other countries at the time of calamities for their development. If they want help, the UN is there. You can see that after the establishment of UN, after the creation of UN, there is no third world war. Before United Nations, two world wars were there. But why the third world war is not there? Because all the nations, they come together on one platform and they think that my life is your life also, and that's why it's possible. Okay, there is not a such binding is there from the United Nations that you have to follow these rules and then you can create your own democracy. It's not like that. They can create their own constituent assembly or committee, and through that committee only they can create the constitution.
Okay, ma'am.
They can
But
create
still, the Cold Wars are still going. Cold
Cold
Wars
War
are
will be there because see that every nation have some passion, isn't it? And you can't stop it. You can't stop. Nobody can stop it.
Ma'am,
Fighting is there. Yes.
मॅम एक प्रश्न असा होता की आता केम्ब्रिज अनालिटिका पासून आता ट्विटर वरती भारतीय सरकारने जी ऍक्शन घेतली आहे ते सगळं बघता मोठे मोठे सोशल मीडिया प्लॅटफॉर्म जे आहेत फेसबुक इंस्टाग्राम सारखे त्यांचा पुढील काळात लोकशाहीवर काय इम्पॅक्ट पडू शकतो आणि असं क्लेम ते करतायत आणि काही अंशी ते खरं पण आहे की ते उलट मतदाराला त्याच्यापेक्षा जास्त म्हणजे मतदार स्वतःपेक्षा जास्त स्वतः बाबतीत जितकी माहिती ठेवू शकत नाही तितकी जास्त माहिती आणि तितकी जास्त चांगल्या पद्धतीने ती माहिती सोशल मीडिया प्लॅटफॉर्म्स ठेवू शकतात. तर त्या केसमध्ये लोकशाही धोक्यात येऊ शकते का? कारण मग तसं बघायला गेलं की मग या सोशल मीडिया प्लॅटफॉर्म्स त्यांना हव्या त्या पद्धतीनं पार्टीज इन्फ्लुएन्स करू शकतात किंवा लोकांची मतं इन्फ्लुएन्स करू शकतात. सो त्या बाबतीत तुम्हाला काही तुमचं मत काय त्या बाबतीत?
की सोशल मीडियाला किंवा कुठल्याही गोष्टीला नेहमी दोन साइड्स असतात. जसं एक कॉइनला दोन साइड्स असतात तशा दोन साइड्स असतात. काही लोक ते हेल्दी सिम्पटम्स म्हणून घेतात की सगळ्या लोकांना माहिती कळते जगात काय चाललंय, त्याच्यानंतर आपल्या आजूबाजूची परिस्थिती काय आहे सगळं कळतं. आता तुम्ही एक विचार करा, जर आपल्याकडे टीव्ही नसता, कुठलाही नसतं किंवा आपल्याकडे फोन नसते तर आपल्याला कळलं पण नसतं की आपल्या शेजारच्या बिल्डिंग मध्ये किती करोना पेशंट आहे. कळलं असतं का सांगा बरं? आपल्या बिल्डिंग मध्ये किती ते सुद्धा कळलं नसतं, है की नाही? मग ह्याचा उपयोग फक्त कसा करायचा हे आपल्या हातात असतं. आणि म्हणून तो वरती तो किती परिणाम करेल त्याच्यापेक्षा लोकांवर तो किती परिणाम करेल आणि तो जर चांगला हेल्दी परिणाम असेल तर तो चांगलं होईल. पण जर लोक काही मिसयूज त्याचा करून वेगळे, आता सायबर क्राईम किती मोठ्या प्रमाणात वाढतोय दिवसेंदिवस हे तुम्ही पण बघताय. सोशल सिक्युरिटी अशी राहिलेली नाहीये आणि लोकांना या सोशल मीडियाची भीती वाटायला लागली आता. म्हणजे पूर्वी तो फेवरेबल होता, म्हणजे माझं इंस्टाग्रामवर अकाउंट आहे, फेसबुकवर अकाउंट आहे, मी व्हॉट्सअपवर आहे, हे खूप असं क्रेडिटेबल वाटायचं. आता तो धोका वाटायला लागलाय. म्हणजे ते इन्स्ट्रुमेंट आहे आपल्या हातात पण ते वापरायचं कसं हे इट्स डिपेंड ऑन एव्हरीवन. तर जसं म्हटलं ना तुम्हाला, एका बाजूने दिसलं तर ते खूप चांगलं पण, दुसऱ्या बाजूने म्हटलं तर ते खूप वाईट पण. सो वी शुड बी बॅलन्स्ड. तर असं बॅलन्स राहावं. एकदम असं कुठली गोष्ट तोडून टाकणं, फेकून देणं असं शक्य होतं. एनी अदर क्वेश्चन?
Hello, ma'am.
हा, येस.
Ma'am, my question is about income inequality. So what are those factors which political factors or democratic factors which impact on inequality?
Inequality. There
Yes,
are so
ma'am.
many factors are there in the society. Also, you can see that the caste is there, religion is there, language is there, region is there. In every region, you can see that after 8 kilometers, the language is changed. Okay. And in every society, the caste system is there. We are not able to remove it properly, and we can't, isn't it? Because that is the impacting factor on the people. And though some people, they try a lot to remove the caste system. Okay, some people, they say that religion is also not real. Why we have to practice the religion? You can practice it at home. You should not publicly. Why you built up the mandir, masjid, church? It is not essential. You can practice at your home, whatever you would like to do. Whether it is possible, no. People have this practice. Inequality is there, but we have to remove it slowly. At one day, it is not going to remove. Slowly but steady, we have to take some efforts about it. Right now, the people are free. Now we can enjoy, we can sit together. People can sit together, they have the lunch, they have the dinners. In a class also, you people also sit together. Isn't it? There is no discrimination. Slowly but steadily, we have to take the efforts for this. Anything else?
Ma'am, I have a question. Ma'am, do you think reservation system is helping in reduction of inequality?
Reservation system is required in every, though Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar said that reservations will be there for first 10 years. After that, there is no need. But you can see that after 20 years also we require reservation. Just now I gave you the example that in Lok Sabha, we have elected our representative, and because there is no reservation for women, so the participation level of the women is only 11%, because there is no reservation. Though we have the population 50%, still the representation is only 11%. So somewhere it is essential, not everywhere. Okay, now we will take the questions. By one, I will ask you the question. If it is possible for you, you can give me the answer. Otherwise, I will tell you the answer. Indirect democracy is also called as dash democracy. Representative democracy, royal democracy, negative democracy. Which one? What is the answer? Can you give me the answer?
Representative.
Yes. Very good. Direct democracy was started in which country?
Greece, ma'am.
Direct democracy is started in which country?
Greece,
So I will give you the options. Okay, India, England, Athens, and America.
Athens.
Athens.
Very good. As are supreme authority in the representative democracy. Leaders, parties, people, kings. In representative democracy, who is the supreme authority? Of course, people. isn't it?
People.
Because they elect the representative, isn't it? Okay. Constitutional government means by law, by men, by dictator, by mob. Constitutional
By law.
government means, yes, by law, correct. Right. How many fundamental rights are included in the Indian Constitution?
6.
4, 6,
6.
10. 6, right, correct answer. Okay. So the last question is there. Public accountability means the representative must remain dash dash opposite, answerable, irresponsible.
Answerable.
Yes, correct answer. Thank you so much, Prerna. Thanks a lot. So these are the some questions that I have solved. Okay. And for the preparation of the examination, please go through the material. I will send you the material. I think all of you got the material. And if not, so I will send the material to your teachers so they will send it to you. Okay. So thank you so much that very patiently you listen me, and whatever the lecture I have given, I think you understand it. And see you tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Okay. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
you,
you,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome, dear. Welcome all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Bye
ma'am.
bye.
Good night, ma'am.
Tomorrow.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you. Welcome, dear. मॅडम आपण थांबूया. कल्याणकर मॅडम. कल्याणकर मॅडम.